Okay, and we're back. Let's see. We're gonna do. I think we're gonna do honey badgers next. I think his is the oldest one that I haven't done yet. In the out of the three now. I'm down to three, I believe, of courses that are published that I have not done yet. Grenade says, my theme is definitely not very major oriented since I placed the course near the Panama Canal. I mean, to be fair, I left the theme open, like specifically for that reason of, like in contests past, when you dictate like it needs to be a U.S. Open course or like a PGA course or an Open Championship course or whatever, it's very prescriptive. Like there's only a handful of courses that are gonna feel like or there's a narrow window of what feels like a U.S. Open course, things like that. So because we really don't need it to check all those boxes. And Honey Badger gave us conditions. That's lovely. God, sorry. I'm trying to do two things at once. Because, we're not dictating those conditions, then, it gives people freedom to, like, hey, make it hard enough for a major, but other than that, do whatever you want. Like, if you want to make a New Zealand Links course, go for it. If you're envisioning an alternate future in which the PGA Championship plays on sandbelt courses, go for it. I'm in. Is there a publish form yet? Not really. I need to. Realistically, all I need is just 4 rounds of conditions from you. But so other than that, I'd maybe make a form. But like you posting it in your thread's perfectly fine. Sorry, there we go. Anyways, we'll do round 3. Medium winds north, very firm, fast. Default. All right. I've already forgotten most of those, but it was medium winds north, and then very fast green speed, firm. That's what it is. All right. North. Green speed very fast, green firmness firm. And I think everything else was default, and that should do it. All right. I believe this one said, or Honey Badger said that this one is, what's it? This one's like kind of Pete Dye influenced, which I can see so far. Got the little tiny pop bunker, which, feels like a Pete Dye thing. I suppose this is kind of Ocean Course at Kiowa based. I will say, I think, like, very nitpicky, but I think this one feels like it has a little bit of the Brian Petty issue. Not nearly as bad, but, like, there's lots of light rough strategically placed, and it's hard to tell the difference between fairway light rough and heavy rough. It's not as bad. It's you can see it. It's not totally invisible, but it is a little difficult to see. Might have that out and back Kiowa Island routing. Possibly. I can check. Wow, that putt was awful. Wow. All right. Did I just putt off the green? I did just putt off the green. Amazing. Again, now, was that a truly horrendous putt that a plat player would never hit? Yes, but, just the fact that I can putt off a green feels like, a significant bump in terms of, like, actually being plat major, or plat difficulty, worthy. Again, like, vaguely Pete Dye-ish, these bunkers just don't do it for me. The kind of, like, those, like, the little, what's the course that did that? French Lick, I think, those like really raised like pimple bunkers. I just don't like those. That's not a strike against the course. That's just I think that's just a personal what do you want to call it? Opinion. Like, it's a perfectly fine execution of it. Um, I just don't get the concept of it. They feel kind of silly to me. Like, they look weird, and then just raising them just makes stuff less likely to go in them. For sure, I get that. You know, and like, you can get your railroad ties and stuff. But again, you know, I think like visually, like I don't it does a perfectly fine job. Like I think it checks the boxes that it needs to. It's very obvious that hey, this is Kiowa Island and it looks like Kiowa Island. I think like just visually it's not wowing me as much as your World Cup course did. But also I think I like the golf better so far. So there is that. Yeah, exactly. This feels like, you know, and again, it probably helps that I am a terrible, terrible putter, and um, I picked the very fast green day, so I'm going to lose so many shots in a short game. But yeah, this feels like, you know, again, maybe the third course so far in the contest that is remotely close to difficulty, where I'm not shooting CC scores on it. What's that like? I don't know. Very nitpicky. Like this isn't exactly a like this isn't a thing where we're gonna take points off. I'm just trying to think of. Oh, there's just a little bit of fairway spline poking through. That's what that is. Okay, okay. That's not that bad. I was just curious, like, what's going on with the surfaces here? And it's just the spline poking through. Is you can't put crowds very close. Yeah, yeah, that's fair. I don't. Can you put them on light rough? I can't remember if you can or not. I might have done that in 21, and I can't remember if I did. That's actually a pretty good putt. That's a bad sign that I can't remember. Oh no, you can. They're on light rough here. No, never mind. That's not light rough. Shit. Um. Yeah, I can't tell what any of the surfaces are. Um. This pin feels silly, which is probably a good thing. Again, it's the if you're not occasionally making weird things just for the sake of difficulty, um, that isn't like just taking a flat green and putting your pin on the one yellow slope on it. Then if you're not doing at least a couple of those, then you're probably not making a major course. And there we go. That was a terrible putt. I can't just. I need to reel my distances in. And it's been so long since I've tried, I cannot remember if you can place crowds on light rough, but it doesn't really matter that much. This one's certainly a funky hole. Do I want to... Yeah, I can't cover. I think plat guys would be able to cover this. But, again, it's not a certainty. So, again, I think that's actually a well-designed tee shot where it's possible to get that better angle, but not likely. And ooh, this might be dicey. I find it a little funny because, like obviously you read the, or you got the memo on what a major course kind of needs to be right now. So, like, the golf is appropriately silly. And yet, like, despite it being kind of obviously, a little goofy, Like, I still honestly feel like I like the golf on this course better than your major one for, or not major, your World Cup one for whatever reason. Like, you think it'd be the opposite of when you have free reign and it's just build the best golf course possible versus like build something that can host a plat major, aka build the goofiest, hardest golf course you can. But like again, it does it in a way that's pretty interesting so far. Like again, they need to include a tool to place intoxicated fans. Ooh, that's a good idea. But like again, like little spots like this, like water hazards that are actually in strategic spots, that are affect the way that you're going to play this hole. Like little things that you know you gotta hit in this contest, and a lot of the field hasn't so far. And like there are birdies out here. It's like I think I've gotten one or two of it. They should all be holding their phones, exactly. They should be shouting Baba Booey and mashed potatoes with regularity as well. Yeah, again, it's weird, like, um, it's just the visuals, like, they're certainly not bad. Like, you captured the vibe you're looking for, but they don't quite do it for me on this one. And holy crap, that's a bad tee shot. Something I can't even really place like my finger on it. Maybe I just feel like the mulch stuff, like when you hit when it sits like deep in your kind of like very vibrant green heavy rough texture, it feels very like there's a kind of a harsh contrast to it that feels like not particularly natural. That being said, it is hard to do like the kind of interspersed like mulchy areas and stuff, or like pine straw areas like that look natural. Like it's just hard to do in this game. Yeah, I was gonna say the rowdy fans option that you called out. Like there is like different fan noises for the stadium hole at Sawgrass, or not Sawgrass, in at uh, Scottsdale in this game. So like there is a toggle for it somewhere. I get them not wanting to give it to players, and have like randomly the crowds be louder on one hole. But it would be interesting to toggle that though. Yeah, that's a brutally kind of obnoxious pin. I would be curious to see if that pin is even possible to stick it close to, and if that's an issue. I mean, like I think honestly, like, because I hit like maybe not the greatest shot, and I've got a 20-footer here or 18-footer here, which is like I think reasonable. Asking a player to just make a 20-foot putt occasionally if they want that birdie is not unreasonable, I think. Again, like, I can recognize that the golf is inherently goofy. And I don't mean that as a derogatory comment. Like, I think that's appropriate. Like, I think you hit the mark by making it goofy. That's kind of what you're supposed to do. But I'm having way more fun on this course than I thought I would. Like again, I mean, and part of it is just like maybe I'm playing better right now. Like when I played Ben's, like it was an objectively good course, and he nailed the difficulty. At least, I feel like he nailed the difficulty. We'll see when we get some opinions, but I think he's at least close. But I just struggled to play that course. It was so frustrating, and this is like not really that much easier. Oh, we almost made an ace. Let's go. Um, this isn't that much easier, and I'm enjoying playing it a lot more. There's, some of, again, the shots are goofy. Like, there's, it's going to be silly in places, just like Ben's was, but like the challenge is more engaging to me. And maybe it's purely because like this is just a little bit easier than his, and like I am incapable of hitting plat level shots on Ben's course, but I can at least pull some of the like the risky shots off here. Maybe that's part of it. Because again, I don't think I broke 80 on Ben's course, and I could break par on this. Alright, I'm maybe not the fan of this pin. This kind of goes into that, like, why are you putting a pin on like, this very yellow slope kind of thing. Although I get that, yeah, that's okay. That's maybe a little... Again, you're going to have to push the line on this course. I think this pin just about steps over it, though. Yep. Okay. So I think I got you there. Again, I think it's like it's definitely easier, but at least it's in the right wheelhouse. So like it wouldn't be the easiest plat course or the hardest plat course they've ever played, but at least like this could be used on plat. This isn't going on CC type thing. There we go. There's a shot. We'll see. Like if you don't want to deal with like the orange or the yellow sloped pins, just stuff it to 3 feet and so you don't really have to worry about putts. To be fair, I'm not a huge like I'm not terribly knowledgeable about Pete Dye. You know, like I know some of the basics, but like I don't know, like so I don't recognize every feature that kind of defines a Pete Dye course, but I don't know, like other than the environment and, you know, maybe like the plentiful water, I don't get tons of Pete Dye vibes on this, which is fine. It just less a critique and more of just an observation. That was a bad putt. Please don't put it on PC or on CC. Yeah, yeah. This one is not going on CC. At least not of these conditions. Maybe if you softened it up, it'd be possible, but still probably not ideal. Well, I haven't been like in love with the environment, but I do give you props. This like bridge, like that's a really clever use of I think one of the Asian pack assets, like the little roofs there. The kind of dam bridge, you know, waterway thing is pretty cool. I like that. It's very clever, and I like you know, it's unique and it fits and it looks nice. It's a cool little kind of highlight. Very true. I suppose it does hit all the kind of angles notes so far. At least sort of. Yeah, again, I suppose you can't go too deep into like strategic angles because you just have to make it hard. So you can't like give the player like great angles all the time. Oh, don't go in the bunker? Alright, perfect. Hitting a smooth little partial driver. Yeah, I think this... again, the rest of the course is fine, but in terms of, like, the real difficulty on this course just comes from the greens. So I think it's crutching maybe a little hard on just, like, again, like green speeds and slopes that just make it really hard to get close to pins. Again, you're gonna need some of that. It's fine, but I feel like that's in a lot of holes. That's kind of this course's only defense. God, that's a terrible putt. I did get a little aggressive with it, but just yeesh. It's like, I'm not struggling that hard on this course otherwise. It's just, like, excessive pins. Like, again, like, you know, not that every hole needs to be pinched, but, like, this is a very wide landing area for plat. You know, nobody on plat's gonna struggle to hit this one. Nice little helping slopes there. There we go. A pin that is not on a yellow slope. Am I still gonna miss it? Nope. We made it. We're good. But yeah. Overall, I've enjoyed this one so far. I think, again, this might be one where if I was playing a multi-round tournament on it, I'd be so tired of these pins by the end of it. But then again, this is not a course designed for enjoyment, so there is that. Didn't find the water once. Yeah, I guess you're right. But again, I think I should safely finish under par, but like putting is really the only place I struggled on this course. I putted off the greens a couple times. I made some just garbage putts, you know, like missed down some slopes, things like that. But like, I didn't. And then again, I am a decent driver of the ball in this game, so it's not shocking that I didn't find too much trouble. But yeah, I was not struggling on this course outside of just putting and chipping. Like that's really where the difficulty of this one lies. It kind of leans very heavily on that. But all right, I think I'll probably get a couple more stuff done this morning. I want to say, yeah. So I did 3. I only have 2 more courses left, and then I'll be totally caught up on publishes so far that I've done playthroughs for. But yeah. Anyways, thank you for the entry. I really enjoyed playing that one. Went over 20 minutes, you've lost a step. Yeah, well, there's just more stuff to talk about on that one. Or just in general. But yeah, thank you. Thank you for the entry. I think this one will do pretty solid in the contest. And thank you, everybody, for show us work in progress. You mean me? You want me to show off my course? I can if you want. I'll just cut the stream here. Or I'll cut this stream and I'll kick off another one to go fly through the course, but all right, we'll do that quickly. All right, so anyway, we'll cut this stream here. If you're in chat, I'll be back in a minute, but if you're watching on playthrough, we'll catch you in the next one. Talk to you later.